Hello, it's Ian Anderson Gray. This is episode 4, or I'm going to be recording episode 4 of the Confident Live Marketing Podcast today. I'm going live to Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you're just joining me, thank you so much for watching the replay. And if you're watching live, it's also great to have you here. So I'm just checking. Everything seems to be okay. The technology seems to be working, which is cool. And yes, so this is actually the second time I'm broadcasting today to LinkedIn and Facebook because I'm wanting to get in a few recordings before the end of the week so that I can just batch a few because I'm going basically publishing episode 3 this Friday, episode 4 the following Friday. And so I'm going to see if I can get quite a few more in before I start bringing in guests into the podcast, which is really exciting. So today I'm going to be talking about live video tools. What are the best live video tools out there? What's the perfect tool for you? And I'm going to be specifically talking about live video tools or live video encoders. I'm not going to be talking about other kind of apps that you can have in your toolkit. I'll be talking about those another time as well. So let me know if you have any thoughts, any questions, put them in the comments. When I start recording, I'm not going to necessarily be able to get back to you straight away, but I will be able to do that after the broadcast because I'm going to be recording it. So I think we're all done. Which is all very good. Just going to check something on here. So just check this is working. Okay. Yep, everything is working cool. Right, so here we go with the episode. Let's just quickly check that. Okay, there we go. Fab. Right, let's record today's podcast. So this is episode 4 of the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. I will see you. Oops, hold on. Needs to get Audition loaded as well. Let's start recording that. Part of the process of this is because this is a very, very new process here. Got a lot of things going on. I've got Wirecast over there. I've got Audition. I've got my Stream Deck. I'm using Ecamm Live. There's quite a lot of moving parts. So I think it's going to take a few more weeks before I get really confident with all the technology that I've got here. This is not a setup that I'd recommend for everybody, by the way. But I think it's looking okay. That's recording. Fab. Right. I will see you just after this.
This is the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. Confident Live Marketing Podcast with Ian Anderson Gray, helping entrepreneurs level up their impact, authority and profits through the power of live video. Gain confidence in front of the camera, confidence with technology, and confidence with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Hello, Ian Anderson Gray here for the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. This is episode 4, and I really appreciate you listening into this. Today, we're going to be talking about the top live video tools. This is something that I'm really excited about, and I love talking about. It's a little bit geeky, but don't worry. I promise to try and make this as easy to understand as possible. We're going to look at a variety of different live video tools that you can use to level up your impact and authority, which is great. So I just wanted to share a few things that I'm working on at the moment. I am working with a couple of people to produce a really fab process for my live videos and my podcasts because there's so many moving parts, not just with the technology, but I'm also putting together a checklist of all the things that I need to do in order to repurpose the content, to plan the content. There's so much going on there. So if you are interested in that, in an episode in the future, in the short distance, I hope, we'll be talking about all the things that you need to plan your live videos, to potentially repurpose that into a podcast and into social media platforms such as Instagram stories and Instagram, the main feed, and Facebook, and how you can really move your live videos into, or repurpose that into, a plethora of other pieces of content out there, which is really exciting. So I'm going to be talking about that, and I'm also going to be bringing in Amy Woods from Content 10X, who I'm very excited to say Content 10X is the new sponsor for the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. So do check out content10x.com. They take your live video content, and in fact, pretty much any other platform out there, such as podcasting, but they will repurpose that into a plethora of other content. Let's face it, I think a lot of us understand the power of repurposing, of creating one piece of pillar content and then taking that and making some other content, or turning that into content on LinkedIn video, or into an infographic, or creating content for Instagram stories. We see the power of that, and we understand why that's really important, and why that frees up so much time and reaches audiences on all the different channels out there. But do we do it? On the whole, we don't, because it just takes a huge amount of effort. Well, the great thing is that Content 10X is a service that will do this for you. You produce the content. So, for example, you go live on Facebook. They will then take the video of that and then repurpose that into a piece of blog content, or they will create images for your blog, or for Instagram stories, or Facebook, or LinkedIn, or whatever it is. There's so much more that they can do. And I've known Amy for quite a few years now. Amy Woods is the CEO, the founder of Content 10X. And I'm really excited that they are sponsoring this podcast, because it's such an amazing fit. Because one of the great things about live video is the way that once you've got the tech sorted out, once you've planned it, and once you're confident with things, it's a really quick and easy way to create content. And that's what I'm doing with this. I'm creating a podcast, and I'm creating a live video. But from that, I can create blog posts, I can create images across all my different platforms. But the fact of the matter is, I don't actually have to do that. Content 10X does that for me. And so definitely check out Content 10X. They are an amazing company. They are doing some fabulous things, and I'd love you to check that out. Next thing I want to talk about is, in a few weeks' time, the end of June. So this is, if you're listening in the future, this is June 2019. I'm going to be speaking in London at my friend Janet Murray's Build Your Audience live event. So this is in Shoreditch, London, on the 27th to 28th of June 2019. If you just search for Janet Murray Build Your Audience Live, I'll also put it in the show notes as well. This is a fabulous event for people really and businesses who want to launch a course online, or a membership community, or maybe a coaching program, and they just want to build their audience. And this could be on a blog, or it could be on live video, podcast. It could be anywhere online that you want to build this audience, but you've kind of maybe struggled with that. Well, the great thing is that this event's going to help you, and there are some amazing speakers. I'm obviously very privileged and honored to be speaking at this, and I'll be talking about live video confidence. But we've also got Colin Gray talking about podcasting. He's obviously a fabulous person because he's got the same surname as me. Jeff C., my friend, coming all the way from Texas, he's going to be talking about Pinterest marketing, which is great. Kirsty Merritt is talking about Instagram marketing. Gavin Bell on Facebook advertising. Jessica Dante on YouTube marketing, and Janet Murray is talking about content strategy. So really excited about that. It's going to be a fabulous couple of days. And the great thing is, it's not just about the presentations that speakers give. We're going to be able to hang out with the rest of the attendees and have our brains picked. And quite frankly, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to having my brain picked and be able to have conversations with people. So that's Build Your Audience Live, end of June. So it's time to get on with the main content now. And we'll talk about which tools you can use for live video. So I'll be with you just after this. So there are loads of different live video tools out there. And this is kind of weird because I just go back 3 years ago and there were hardly any. In fact, this was how I started with live video. I was frustrated because I wanted to go live to Facebook. At the time, Facebook Live was a very, very new kid on the block in terms of live streaming platforms. But it was impossible for me to go live to because I needed an iPhone, and I also needed to live in the US because it was only available to people in the US at the time. But I found a tool called Obs Studio that allowed me to broadcast to Facebook Live from my computer. And at the time, there were really only a few tools out there that allowed you to do this. It was maybe two or three or four live video tools. Some of them were quite obscure. A lot of them were very difficult to use. Fast forward to 2019, and if you're listening in the future, there will be even more tools. I bet there are loads of tools out there. It's a lot easier to go live. Some of the tools out there have got this real sweet spot between power of use and being easy to use as well. So we're going to talk about loads of different tools in this, but there is a big but here, and that is that things change. So depending on when you listen to this, some of the information about the tools may change, and I'll try and be as helpful as I can and say that this is a feature that it's got at the moment, or maybe this is a feature that it doesn't have. But do check the details on the websites, and I will try and keep my website up to date with all the latest information. So there are loads of different tools out there, but they fit into a number of different categories, and I'll go through those categories now with you. I mean, first of all, you can go live from your smartphone. Natively. So I'm talking here about Facebook, and I'm talking about YouTube, the actual apps here. So these are great, very, very easy to use tools, and it's not complicated at all, but there are some downsides. So you can go live from your smartphone directly from those apps. I'd always recommend for beginners, start on those tools. It's a lot easier if you do it that way. So natively from the smartphone, that's the first type of app. The second type of app, which I'm going to go through these individually, is a browser-based live video tool. So as you can probably tell from the title of that, this is a web app. This runs in your web browser, whether you're using Google Chrome or Apple Safari or Microsoft Edge, whatever. You can go to the website and run everything within the browser. You can go live to Facebook or whatever platform it is directly from the browser. So those are browser-based live video tools or web apps. The third type of live video tool is a webinar tool or a video conferencing tool. So you could think of this like Zoom or Crowdcast, or maybe there's some other webinar tools out there such as Webinar Jam, that as well as providing the webinar or the meeting, you can stream that live to Facebook, which is a really easy and simple thing to do. So these are kind of hybrid tools. They do more than one thing. They were not created to be live video tools. They were created to be either a video conferencing tool or a webinar, but they also live stream. So these are very, very good if you are already doing a webinar or do a meeting and you also want to live stream that as well. The next type of app is for your smartphone. It is a mobile-based app, and this is not a native solution, so it's not like the Facebook app or the YouTube app. This is a dedicated app that will allow you to stream to maybe multiple platforms and allow you to create a live video studio, a mobile live video studio. So I'll talk a little bit more about that type of app in a bit, because that's kind of a slightly different type of tool. Then there are those downloadable desktop apps. So you can run this on your laptop or your desktop, but they're kind of a standalone app that will stream to Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever platform it is. So those types of apps are what I'm using today and what I highly recommend that you use if you're wanting to take things to the next level. Then we've got another type of app which is called a multicasting or a restreaming app. So this is something I wouldn't recommend, certainly for beginners, or even if you've done this for a little while, because a lot can go wrong with this. But effectively what this does is it takes your one stream that you're broadcasting and it will broadcast that to many different platforms out there at the same time. So these are really cool if you're wanting to reach a big audience, but there are some downsides with that as well. Then there's a couple of other types of solutions. They're more hardware based. So these are actually take away from your computer. These are standalone hardware pieces of equipment, really. So the first one would be like a live video camera, or you can buy a separate HDMI encoder. And I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details on those because this is a bit more advanced. And you can also get these other types of encoders which are more portable as well. So we can go through some of that. So let's go through some of those tools now. And I'm going to go through some of the famous ones first that you may well have heard of. So the first one I want to share with you is BeLive.tv. Now, bear in mind, as I said before, some of these features that I'm going to talk about may change. Some of the frustrations that I have with some of these tools may go away. So do check those out. But BeLive.tv, that's the website that you need to go to, is one of the most famous and easy to use web apps out there. It currently allows you to broadcast to Facebook Live or Twitch. So Twitch is maybe I would say it's a lesser known live streaming platform. It's particularly useful or particularly used by gamers out there, but more and more businesses and marketers are using Twitch. So it's a great platform for that. And it's got a free service as well as a paid one. And it has some really easy to use features, such as allowing you to bring in guests very, very easily through the browser. So if you want to bring in a guest, all you need to do is give them a link, and then they just put that into their browser, and they are allowed to share their webcam and their microphone and go live with you onto the show. There are different modes. You can go just live on your own as a solo broadcast, or you can bring in a guest if it's an interview, or if you've got multiple guests, you can bring them in and they can come in and out of the show. That's the talk show format. And some great things about web apps such as BeLive.tv is that you can monitor the Facebook Live comments or the Twitch comments and highlight those on the screen, and it will give you the image of the person, the photo of the person who's left the comment, which is really, really good. People love to see their face and their comments directly on the live video. It really gives you a lot more engagement that way. So that's great. It also allows you to add titles, so you can segment your live video and put titles on the screen, and you can do things like add branding, your colors, add a logo, that kind of thing, and be able to change the layout. So if you wanted to have just you and the guest split screen, you can do that, and then you can just change the scene just to be just you or just your guest. So you can there is the ability to change the layout and the look and feel of things. So downsides with this type of app, such as BeLive.tv, it doesn't give you the ability to download a high quality version of the video. So you will have to go to Facebook and actually download the video directly that way. And unfortunately, in my experience at least, the quality is not that great. So if you want to then repurpose that content for later, if you want to, for example, upload that Facebook video to YouTube later, you might be disappointed in the quality. So the quality isn't that great. So that is a BeLive.tv. StreamYard is the next one. StreamYard, by the way, I should have mentioned with BeLive.tv the pricing, and obviously this will change, but at the moment there is a free plan which allows you to go live twice per week for up to 20 minutes. But at the moment it's around $20 per month, and obviously in the future this may change. The downside with the basic plan, with the light plan, which is $20 per month, is that does not allow you to share your screen. So if you want to produce like a how-to video and you want to share what's on your screen, you can't do that on the $20 per month plan. You have to upgrade to standard, which is a bit of a pain. And also you can't do the custom branded frames and those kinds of things on the basic package. But StreamYard.com is very similar to BeLive. It is a web app. It has a free plan, but the free plan also includes screen sharing, which is great, at least at the moment. The other advantage with StreamYard over BeLive.tv is that you can stream to pretty much any platform out there, which is really cool. So StreamYard is great. It's a really easy to use tool. It has pretty much all the same features as BeLive.tv, but you can also add videos in there. So if you've got like a 30-second video to like an introduction video to your show, you can add that in as an overlay in StreamYard.com, which is great. And you can broadcast to pretty much any platform out there, which is great. So StreamYard is getting a lot of people interested in it. There's a lot of development into it, and it's actually becoming one of the tools that I recommend to people who are starting out with live video, because it is so easy to use, but it's also very versatile and very powerful. So definitely check out StreamYard.com. So those are web apps. There's quite a few other ones out there, but we're going to move on to a different type of app, which is the webinar or the video conferencing type of app. One that I wanted to mention in particular is Zoom. Zoom.us is the website address. I love Zoom. I use it all the time for my one-to-one meetings with clients, for mastermind groups. It's a fantastic video conferencing tool, very similar to Skype, but let's say currently at least it's much more stable. The quality of the audio and the video is much better, and it also has facilities like being able to save your video to your computer or to the cloud. Now, one of the things they've just added recently is the ability to stream your meeting to YouTube or Facebook Live. Now, this was available before, but it was only available on the more expensive webinar platform. So now pretty much anyone, as long as you're on the Pro plan, which is around $15 per month, it will allow you to stream to Facebook or YouTube Live very, very easily. And this is great if you're already in a meeting or producing a webinar and you just want to stream that to your Facebook group or your Facebook page, and you want it to be quick and easy. The downside is, I mean, although you can share your screen and you can do lots of cool things like that, there aren't the many opportunities to change the look and feel of it. You can't add your own branding or lower third graphics or anything like that. Bringing in guests is obviously very easy, but it's not so good for that. And it's not so good for branding because, unfortunately, Zoom slaps the big Zoom logo on your live stream. So it's great to begin with, but if you're really conscious and you're really wanting to focus on building your brand, then I wouldn't recommend Zoom long term, because it does have their own branding on there, and I think that's a shame. Whereas some other platforms I'm going to recommend allow you to do that, such as BeLive.tv and also what's the other one I mentioned? StreamYard.com as well. They allow you to add your own branding, whereas Zoom doesn't. And then, of course, there is Crowdcast Io, and there are many other webinar platforms out there. There's Webinar Jam, there's Demio. Some of them offer the facility to stream live to YouTube or Facebook or some other platforms out there. They do tend to be a little bit expensive, though. Sometimes the streaming facility isn't available on the basic plan. So, for example, with Crowdcast, the live streaming is only available on the $89 per month plan. So do bear that in mind. So we're now on to a different type of platform here, which is to do with building a mobile video studio. And Switcher Studio really, in many ways, is on a category on its own, because this is a bit difficult to explain. But basically, this turns your iOS devices, so these are iPhones and Android phones, it turns them into your live video studio. So you can have an iPad and from that control all your other iOS devices, which can be cameras. So a decent setup could be an iPad on your table, and you've got your iPhone in front of you, maybe mounted on a tripod, and you maybe have other iPhones around you at different camera angles. And from your iPad, you can then switch between those different cameras really easily. Not only that, you can bring in guests. You can share your screen from your Mac just by installing software onto your Mac. You can also do things like be able to add lower third graphics with animations. It is ridiculously easy to use, and I love Switcher Studio, particularly if I'm out and about at an event and I want to produce a really professional broadcast, much more professional than just broadcasting natively from my phone. So Switcher Studio is great, and it's also one of the only apps out there that currently broadcast to LinkedIn Live. That will change. If you're listening to this in the future, I'm going to assume that LinkedIn Live you'll be able to broadcast to LinkedIn Live from pretty much any platform out there. But currently, you can only stream from a couple of different tools out there, of which Switcher Studio is one of them. Now, the pricing of Switcher Studio has gone up in recent times. I'm just looking at the website here, and it says $5,000 per year, but that's for teams. If we scroll down, there's the professional plan and the personal plan, which currently is $29 per month for the personal. That's not for commercial use. You'll probably need the professional plan if you're doing this for business, and that's $49 per month if you pay yearly, or $75 per month. So it's not cheap, but what you get for your money is pretty amazing. It just has loads of features in there. You can stream to pretty much any platform out there as well, and it's a really, really good platform. So that is Switcher Studio. So we're now moving on to desktop apps. These are apps that you download to your PC or Mac laptop or desktop computer. And the first one I want to recommend is Ecamm Live. And that's actually what I'm using at the moment. I'm actually using two different apps at the same time, and I'll talk about the second one in a bit. But Ecamm Live, the big downside with Ecamm Live is it's only available for Mac. So if you're a PC user, unfortunately you can't use this. There are other apps that I'll recommend in a little bit. Ecamm Live, I think, offers that amazing sweet spot between ease of use and power. It's a really powerful tool. It has so many amazing features in it. In fact, it's one of the best tools, if not the best tool for Macs, because Macs, unfortunately, they're not really the best or the most powerful platforms for live video streaming. Actually, PCs do a much better job at this. But I still actually recommend that people go live on their Mac using Ecamm Live, because it is so easy to use, and it manages to use all the best bits of the Mac to go live to. So definitely check out Ecamm Live. It's a really good platform. It allows you to bring in guests very, very easily. The only downside is that it's via Skype at the moment, and I hope in the future they change that and allow you to use different platforms out there. But Ecamm Live integrates with Skype, and it's very, very easy to bring those guests in. It also allows you to highlight comments on the screen. You can see comments from Facebook, Twitch, and pretty much all the other platforms out there, and you can highlight those on the screen, which is what I'm going to be doing in this live show as well. And if you're watching us live, I will get back to those comments at the end. I'm just going to be focusing on recording the podcast at the moment. So as well as being able to highlight comments on the screen, you can add text, you can add videos, you can add multiple cameras. If you have a Canon camera, DSLR camera, you can plug that directly into your Mac, and it will use that camera as a webcam without any extra software. You can, in fact, add multiple Canon cameras if you want. So it's very good. Also being able to add multiple microphones as well. So loads of features like that, and there are loads of geeky things if you upgrade to the more advanced plans. So at the moment, the pricing plans, there are two different ones. The standard is $12 per month, and that pretty much gives you everything you need, including even green screen if you want to go down that route and replace your background with something completely different. And it also has multi-camera split screen and all that type of thing. But if you pay to upgrade to the Pro plan, which is $20 per month, it has things like a virtual webcam, which allows your guest to be able to see what you see on the show, which is great. And it allows you to output using NDI, which is a networking system that allows you to share your video over your network to a different computer, which is actually what I'm using at the moment to get it into my other computer to stream to LinkedIn Live. So I won't go through all the features, but you can just check out Ecamm Live. It's a really, really great tool. So, right. So that is Ecamm Live. The next one is OBS Studio. And I have a lot of love for OBS Studio because this is where I started. OBS Studio 3 years ago is how I got into Facebook Live. And so I have a kind of big soft spot for this. Now, unlike Ecamm Live, OBS Studio is available for Macs and PCs. And if you are uber geeky. It even works for Linux. So it's open source. It's completely free. And I still love it. I still use it today. It's a little bit more techy, and the learning curve is a little bit greater. It's certainly greater than the likes of Ecom Live. But it is a really robust tool, and people today that I know are using it professionally for professional live streams. It's a really great app. A few downsides with it. I mean, it doesn't have the facility to be able to bring in guests so easily. So the way to do it is either bring your guest in using Skype or Zoom, and then share, and then be able to take that video and the audio from that window into OBS Studio. It's a little bit geeky from that point of view. And also things like being able to highlight comments on screen from Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever it is. There is no built-in feature for that. So you'll have to find another way of highlighting that. But one great thing about OBS Studio, and I forgot to say this, the same also for Ecom Live, is both of these tools allow you to save the video in full HD as well as stream to the platforms. So for repurposing, these tools are really, really great. It does it automatically if you set it up correctly, and will allow you to then save the video to repurpose for later. So OBS Studio, great tool. It allows you to do pretty much everything that Ecom Live does, except for things like being able to bring in guests so easily and highlighting comments on screen. Now, if you want to take things to the next level and you're on a PC, I've not played with this, but it's been recommended by my friend Mark Orr, and this is Streamlabs OBS Studio. So what they've done is they've taken OBS Studio and they've added some extra features. It's only for PC, so whereas OBS Studio is available for all platforms, Streamlabs, they've added some extra features, and you can even download an app for iOS and for Android phones, which will turn your phone into a switcher, so you can actually change the scenes using your phone, which is really cool. So Streamlabs, it's a really, really cool tool, which I'm going to be fiddling around with. So the next tool, we're going up to upper level now. So that was free. Wirecast is the next one, and this is more expensive. This is a more professional tool. It's what I currently use to stream live to LinkedIn Live, because it is, again, it's one of the only other platforms that LinkedIn Live integrates with. Now, it used to be very expensive. The starting price for Wirecast was just under $800, and you also needed to pay per year to get onto the latest version of this. But they've just added a new entry-level product called Wirecast One, which is only $249. So Wirecast is available for Mac and PC. It's a really robust platform, but it is a little bit difficult to use. It's got quite a learning curve. I have produced a course on this. So if you go to iag.me/products, you can find my course on OBS Studio and Wirecast, and that will teach you all you need to use on Wirecast. I really love Wirecast. It's really robust. It's got loads of features on it. It takes things really to the next level. But there are some downsides with it. So on the $249 Wirecast, the Wirecast One, it doesn't allow you to bring in guests. There's no integrated feature. Like OBS Studio, you can't bring in guests easily unless you integrate with Zoom and Skype and share your screen and do it that way. But on the more expensive version, the Wirecast Studio, you can do that. So Wirecast Studio currently is $449, and they have this feature called Wirecast Rendezvous. So this allows you to bring in guests via the browser. So you send them a link, and you can bring them into your live show. It's not as straightforward or as easy or as powerful really as some of the other tools out there, such as even Ecom Live with its integration with Skype is a bit easier, but like BeLive and StreamYard, it's a little bit more robust and easier to use, I think. But it's already getting better. Over the years that I've been playing with this, I've been quite impressed with what they've added to that. And also, there's no ability to highlight comments on the screen. So for that type of thing, Wirecast Studio, you have to actually integrate with some other tools out there, such as New Blue Titler, which is a facility or an app, a standalone app that allows you to bring in comments into Wirecast. So there we go. That's Wirecast. I could go into a huge amount more detail, but I'll probably do that in another show. And then we've got vMix. vMix is a really professional app live streaming tool for PC only. And because it's only available for PCs, it's really built for PCs in mind. It's robust, and some of the really professional live video studios and professionals out there use vMix. All Wirecast, but vMix is being recommended more and more so because it is for PC, and you can build some really high quality professional kits using PCs. So vMix is they have a free version, but it starts from anywhere between $60 up to $1,200. It's got a steep learning curve. I actually find vMix quite difficult at first to use compared to some of the other tools out there. But it has some great features. It's got integrated comments, so you can add comments, highlight comments to your screen. And it also has the facility to be able to bring in guests there's an inbuilt app that allows you to bring in guests through the browser, which is, in my experience, really easy to use. So that's vMix, which is great. So quick run through some other tools out there or other pieces of kit that you can buy. There are some mobile kits out there, such as the Live U Solo. Now, I've not used this, but if you are really interested in going live while you're out and about, and you may be going to places where the mobile coverage, the 4G is not that great, then the the Live U Solo is a kit that uses the 4G and bonds multiple 4G networks together or connections together so that you can have a really robust connection to live stream with. So with this kit, you can plug in your camera using HDMI or SDI, which is another piece of technology. It's quite expensive though. So this is really for professional live streamers who really want to take things to the next level. The other type of hardware you can buy is like a camera that has integrated broadcasting abilities. So something like the Mevo or the Mevo Plus. So this is basically like a 4K camera that you control from your smartphone, from your Android phone or your iOS device. And it allows you to change camera angles, allows you to broadcast directly to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or whatever platform. And these are really, really cool. So these work very well at events, or if you've got a worship service or some kind of place where you don't want to be installing lots of computers or lots of cameras around. So the Mevo Plus, you just go to mevo.com. That's mevo.com. And then there's other pieces of hardware. So there's the Webcaster X2. I've actually got one of these. So this is a device that uses Wi-Fi, or you can plug it into your network. And then you also plug in your HDMI camera directly into this, or even your webcam. And this then allows you plug a monitor into this, and then this allows you to broadcast directly to Facebook, YouTube, or other platforms. It's really, really easy to use. This is particularly good for events or venues that don't want to have big computers or difficult pieces of software or hardware to use. So this is from Epiphan, and that's EPIPHAN. If you just search for Epiphan video or epiphan.com, this is called the Webcaster X2, which is really cool. Then we're going on to the final thing, which is the restreaming or the multicasting tools out there. So these take one stream and then will allow you to broadcast to multiple platforms all at the same time. So I can broadcast, for example, the one I'm going to talk about now is Restreamed Io. This is a service that I was streamed to Restreamed Io, and then it will take that and restream that to Facebook, LinkedIn Live, Periscope, YouTube, all at the same time. So this seems like a really good idea, and for more advanced streamers, maybe it is. But the downside with this is that you've got multiple platforms, and of course then you've got multiple audiences, and keeping track of all those different comments across those different platforms is really hard. And also with the likes of Restreamed.io, there are a few disadvantages, like it doesn't allow you to schedule your Facebook Live videos directly through the app. And it also doesn't allow you to add the actual description to the post. It only will give you the title of the post. And it also adds its own branding. So unless you pay a lot more money, it will actually say this broadcast is multicasted, or I can't remember the exact words, via Restreamed Io. So I don't like it from that point of view. But there are a number of other platforms out there, such as Joycaster, or what's the other one called again? It's called Switchboard Cloud, which is pretty cool, which allows you to do the same thing. So, but what I would always recommend that you do is start simply. If you are new to live video, then do not start with some of these more complicated tools. Start with your smartphone, get used to that. Then once you want to take things to the next level, I would use a web app like BeLive.tv or StreamYard. Do that kind of thing. Or if you're using Zoom, use Zoom. Then if I would look at using a tool such as Ecamm Live if you're on a Mac. If you're on a PC, then I'd probably stick with using one of those web apps before you start to go down the route of OBS Studio or the likes of vMix or Wirecast. They're a little bit more complicated to use. But if you're really invested in live streaming, if you're happy to put the work in and learn how to use these tools, then by all means use them. As I said, I've got courses on OBS Studio and on Wirecast. So if you want to learn how to use those tools really effectively, just go down to my website, iag.me, and look for the courses under products. So there we go. I hope you found that useful. Let me know if there are any tools that you would like me to focus on in the future. I would love to do that. Just email me at ian@iag.me. And you can find me through my website or through my various social media channels. Just search for my name, Ian Anderson Gray. And of course, I'd love you to leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. One of the best ways to get more people to listen to this is through reviews. That means that my podcast will be more likely to come up in the search results. So if you could leave me a review if you really enjoyed this show, and I'd love to have some feedback and see how I can serve you better. But until next time, I will leave you now and enjoy leveling things up, leveling up your impact and authority using confident live video. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Confident Live Marketing Podcast with Ian Anderson Gray. Be sure to join the community at iag.me, where you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video. And until next time, toodaloo.
Hello, right, so there we go. I've done the broadcast. I need to just switch off the audition recording for the podcast. I think we've had some problems on LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems to be being a bit dodgy. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, leave me a comment. I don't think it's been working terribly well. I've got some warnings on there. So that's kind of part of why I'm doing this, because I want to learn how the technology is working. Yes. Looks like it's previously recorded live. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's worked. That's a shame. But I can see we've got some comments on Facebook Live, which is great. Bonnie was leaving some comments. So let me just go through these, actually. So I don't know whether you're still here, Barb. It's great to have you here, Barb. Are you using version 2 of BeLive.tv? In all honesty, I don't know. I don't know which version I'm using. I assume I am using that, but I'll check that out. Let me know what the difference is between version 1 and version 2. And you also say, sorry to step in late. Do not worry. I don't know whether you're still here, but catching up. Yes, the Yard. So StreamYard.com is an excellent tool out there. And yes, a lot of people don't know that Zoom have just added this feature. It used to, for live streaming, it used to only be available on the paid version plus the webinar add-on. So it ended up being like $50-$60 per month or pounds. So now you can do that on the Pro plan. It still slaps the big Zoom logo on there, but it's not great. Now, yes, so Barb also says the branding option at lower levels is not optional. So that's a stupid move on their part, I think. But the problem is it's actually not optional on any on any of the platforms. So on any of the pricing plans. So even on the business, you can switch the Zoom logo to your own, but underneath your logo, it still says powered by Zoom. I think that's really poor by Zoom, and I hope they change that, because if you're going to be spending all that money on the business version of Zoom, they should be getting rid of that powered by Zoom logo. That's just not on. And it's one reason why I don't like these tools like Restreamed Io, because you can get rid of the branding if you pay more, but on some of the cheaper plans, it slaps that on all the platform, all the live videos that you do, which is not great. Bonnie says, what platform are you using currently for the share? I like your face circle. It's very clever. So I'm using Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is only available on Macs, but it's a really, really cool tool. Yes, you can do this on the likes of Wirecast and vMix, but it's very, very simple and easy using Ecamm Live. And yeah, you can't really do those kind of things on the likes of BeLive or StreamYard currently. So I like that flexibility that you get using Ecamm. And yes, this live will be shareable later. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked on LinkedIn. I'm going to have to check in with the guys at Wirecast, because there's been some dodgy goings on there. I don't know what's going on there. How many devices are you using currently for this video? So I'm using Ecamm Live, and I've just got one webcam, got one microphone. I'm also using a Stream Deck. If I can, I might not be able to actually lift this up. There we go. So this, I've got all the different scenes here set up, and if I just go back here, you can see I can switch the lights off and on in my office, and I can also switch the different shows that I'm using. So I've got the free range social show there, and I've got the Confident Live Marketing show there as well. So I'm going to go back to that now, and then over on my left, I've got a PC laptop which is running Wirecast. So I'm sharing the video output and video and audio output from Ecamm Live over the network. This uses a technology called NDI. Sounds complicated, but it's actually really simple, because all this does is it shares the video over the network. I go onto my other computer on Wirecast. I can then just use the NDI output from my Mac and share that on to LinkedIn Live using Wirecast. So it's really cool. So that's what I've got set up here. So there we go. I think that's it. I'm going to be the next podcast episode 3, which I broadcasted earlier, is going to be going live this Friday. And then the following week will be this episode 4. So if you want to find out more about the podcast, if you could subscribe, all you need to do is go to iug.me/podcast. And I'd love to have you listening to the podcast. I'd love to have you in some forthcoming shows as well. And I will see you. Not quite sure when I'm next going live, but maybe in the next couple of days, or certainly next week will be the next show. So I will see you all then. Bye, everyone.